Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Diz Unlimited podcast. This is episode 49, and I am Rhino, the executive producer and media manager around these here parts. I'll be leading our Disney discussion today, and joining me today is the one and only Dreams Unlimited travel agent and feet content producer, Hannah Anderson. Hey y'all. We got theme park correspondent Chloe Ferreira.
Thank you for being here today.
Who, me or you?
Yeah, everybody. Princess Diaries.
Guys,
Crocs.
If you can't tell, hold on. I'm going to do a little Rocky Horror Picture Show for those of you watching. And what's it do? Yeah, I got Crocs and socks, baby. We got our studio slippers, honey. We got them.
Happy Croctober.
Yeah, we decided. Happy Croctober, yeah.
We're all to celebrate.
We decided that we are going to... hold on, I put my headphones a little too loud today. We call them, we're going to do the Mr. Rogers, and every time we come inside, we change our shoes in the studio now into our Crocs. I think it relaxes us.
Leave them right by the door. You know, we should set up a little station for our Crocs, a little home.
A little, yeah, so they don't get lonely when we're not here.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. If you didn't watch our coverage of the Mickey's, I'm sorry, my headphones are so loud. If you didn't watch the coverage of our Mickey's, very not so scary Merry Christmas, whatever it's called. If you didn't watch our video of Mickey's not so scary Halloween party, you should check that out, because there is like a 10-minute section where we are debating about getting Crocs, and then in the end we're like, well, we didn't get the Crocs. Well, I got it. That was a throwback to the comeback, if anybody has seen that.
And we saved some
finally
money.
did them. We did.
We were financially responsible.
Mm-hmm.
We waited. We bought them online, and we got them with the discount.
Yeah,
so
girl.
Less than an AP in the park.
Yeah, I think we ended up paying, like, I'm just being transparent, I think we ended up paying maybe like 40 and change or whatever for them, and they were like $65 in the park. So, baby, what a savings. And we are going to be talking about Disney discounts today, as well as some DinoLand closures and some other fun things. But before we get too far into this, I want to remind everybody that this and everything that we do here is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. They are experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation, and when you book with them, it costs you nothing extra on your trip, and you help support the channel and all the content that we produce here. So check them out, dreamsunlimitedtravel.com, for a free no obligation quote today. What does a no obligation quote mean? Well, it means you can go and be like, how much does this cost? And then disappear into the night. No one will come in. No one will club you to death or anything like that. Not that I'm aware of. Those could be two separate events that happen on their own. But
for that.
That's
right. There is an obligation for
that.
Yeah,
that is the obligation package. It is also brought to you by our Patreon supporters. We could not do this without you. If you want to learn more about how you can get exclusive content from different members of the Diz team, you can head over to patreon.com/DizUnlimited. We usually do a Patreon after show, sometimes a pre-show. We did a pre-show 2 weeks ago because we had to do the coverage of Mickey's Not So Scary. We did not have one last week, unfortunately. We will make that up to you. We're talking about that this afternoon, about how we can do that, just because of the hurricane prep and everything like that. Hey gang, before we get too far into all this news, I just want to check in. How's everybody doing? How did you fare during the hurricane? This is live, just so everybody knows in the chat as well. I know. Sorry.
I never know who to go first.
No.
Yeah, you first, Chloe.
No need to answer. I'm going to cut you off. No, just kidding. This is live. I just want the chat to know. So if I know there was a comment about Hannah's audio. Any of that stuff, please leave it in the chat so we can correct it as we go. Would be very, very helpful. Chloe, why don't you take us away? Okay.
I didn't lose power at all, thankfully. That was the thing I was most worried about.
That's good.
But I was watching some cozy movies throughout.
Like what?
Oh my gosh.
What was your playlist? Yeah.
I watched Monster House. I watched Princess Diaries. I watched
1 and 2 or just one?
Just one.
Is it because you're excited that they are making a third one?
Yeah.
I like the second one.
The second one's a Chris Pine starring vehicle. It's like back when he was nobody.
That's why I fell in love with Chris Pine.
I also watched a lot of Halloween shorts.
Ooh.
Like
whose shorts were they?
Shorts.
Oh my.
I watched the one. Oh my goodness, I'm already forgetting the name of it, but I wrote about it in an article because there are 3 specific newer Halloween shorts that everybody should watch right now if you haven't already. And there's one that is in like the new Mickey Mouse style, and it's Mickey retelling telling 3 scary stories to all the nephews. And I was tickled.
Oh,
I was so surprised with how funny they were.
Oh my god! I cannot believe this happened. Okay, guys, does the audio sound better now?
What happened?
The stupid computer here. It's been doing this lately. It will randomly switch microphones that it's pulling from, and so I'm over here like blowing my eardrums out on this thing, trying to be like, what are they talking about? It sounds low. It switched when I hit record to start the broadcast. It switched to the computer microphone, so no wonder why nobody could hear us.
Yeah, it's probably very low, not just like a little low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, thanks, everybody.
It sounds like everybody's on now.
Okay.
Yay.
Well,
Or it looks like everybody knows. Okay.
Sorry, everyone. Maybe we should just start over.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not doing that foot thing again. Not for free.
Well, I'll talk about the hurricane again. That's
Well,
fine.
then
Hurricane Hannah.
Hey,
Milton.
Then let's just make that part exclusive for YouTube. Guys, I'm going to start us over.
Are you?
This is fun. Yeah, let's do it again.
All right, sure.
This is just for you out there on YouTube. This part won't be in the audio feed.
Are
so
we
if you listen to this
introducing
back later,
ourselves again?
Yep.
we are, honey. So if you want to
All
get
right.
under that table, you
Get
can.
down on the
Second.
flow.
I'm
I got to stretch first.
Okay, hold on. I've turned the mic up so far. You know what? This is fun. This is why we watch it live, right? So that everyone gets a little fun taste of everything. So
Ryan is stressed. Don't let him pull you.
yeah, I am. There is a little bit of the shakes going on now.
I can look
but
at the title of the short now, too. Great news, everyone.
Chloe, you got to learn to talk into that microphone too, not next to it.
I'm doing it.
So we'll start over. Just this will be for everybody. This will just be for you. Fun for our viewers who tune in live. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate that. And for those of you who will never listen to this because I'm going to cut this part out of the audio broadcast. I don't know why I'm talking to you. Okay, here we go. Everyone out there, you're going to see how the magic happens. This was fun. I like you all. Here we go. Starting over. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Diz Unlimited podcast. This is episode 49. I am Rhino, the executive producer and media manager around these parts. I will be leading our Disney discussion today, and joining me is none other than Dreams Unlimited travel agent and new feat content producer, Hannah Anderson. Hey, y'all. And then we also have theme park correspondent, Crocky Chloe Ferreira.
Thank you for being here today.
If you're watching this, you can see that we all got our studio slippers. I don't have the flexible ability to bring mine into frame. It's a nice leg, though, right? Yeah, if you watched our coverage of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, you saw that there was a section where we were in a very lively debate about whether or not we were going to get these Crocs, and it ends with the bit where we're like, we didn't get the Crocs, but then we did because we had a friend who ordered them for us, and they were cheaper on DisneyStore.com. Mm-hmm, so I think we got them afterwards. Like it was like $40 and some change. So instead of $65. So pretty good.
Happy Croctober. You got to tell everybody.
Happy
yeah.
Croctober. Happy Croctober, everybody. Well, before we get into it, I just want to remind everybody that this and everything that we do here is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. They are experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation, and when you book with them, it costs you nothing extra on your trip, and you help support the channel and all the content that we produce here. So check them out, dreamsunlimitedtravel.com, for a free, no obligation quote today. That means you can pop in, be like, hey, how much does this cost? And they won't follow you home. They might if you want them to, but that's extra.
Yeah, it's definitely extra. I'm going to charge a premium for that. Any extra foot content is also a premium. Okay, but call me.
Call me maybe. It is also brought to you by our Patreon supporters. We couldn't do this without you. If you want to learn more about exclusive content you can get from different members of the Diz team, you can head over to patreon.com/DizUnlimited. We normally do a companion live stream to this show that we've done before because of time constraints. Unfortunately, last week we did not have it because of everything with Hurricane Milton. Nobody likes it when Milton comes to town. Somebody took his stapler and he didn't appreciate it. And
I set the building
did that
on
one tickle
fire.
you?
I set the building on fire.
If they don't touch my stapler.
Don't touch my stapler.
We'll make it up to you. We're going to figure out how to do that after this and have a fun chat. But we're going to be doing our post-show live following this broadcast
And we
a little
got
bit after.
something
So stay
fun
tuned.
planned that I'm very excited about.
We do. We have we're doing a little bit of what do you call these?
A food review? I
Food
don't
review.
know.
Yeah. Girl, I don't know what has happened today.
How you
Words-
say?
How you say?
How the French say les compétents. Yeah.
Almost
Don't
the
ruin it.
season.
Don't ruin it. Don't
Well,
ruin it.
I will just say, most of our post shows do include food, so be there, be square.
Yeah. Well, be square pants. Boom. Hint.
Ooh.
Teaser.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a lot of fun stuff. Disney discounts we've gotten here. We've got some closures. Hey, beat it, dinosaurs. And the return of some Jingle crews and amongst other things. But before we get started, I just want to check in. How was everybody? How did you all survive the hurricane? I assume everyone's not dead, and this isn't purgatory, and we're trapped here forever because we were able to change our
Oh,
clothes.
no, that happened a long time ago here.
I've seen Lost. I know what happens. They didn't die on the island. They died after the island. I hate when people say that. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
spoiler alert for that show that was 22 years old or something now.
Chloe, tell us about your hurricane experience.
Yeah, What'd
My
you do?
hurricane experience. I watched a lot of content at night waiting for the storm to pass, and I thankfully didn't lose power at all. I had all my phone batteries charged. I had lots of water and snacks and everything, and thankfully didn't lose power. This is my first survival of a hurricane living in Central Florida. I grew up on the East Coast, and
Yeah.
I've seen some stuff in my time. So this was the most relaxing hurricane I've been through. The lead up was a little bit more stressful, but it was pretty good. I watched a lot of fun content. I watched Monster House. I watched Princess Diaries. I watched some
Just one?
Halloween shorts. Just the first one, yes.
Why just the first one? What you got against number 2?
Listen, I read all of the Princess Diaries books, and I didn't like how they ventured off in the second one.
But Chris Pine,
I
honey.
know.
Yeah, okay.
What about Chris Pine? That's when I fell in love with Chris Pine.
I hope he's in the third one.
Yeah,
right?
me too.
I know
Sure.
they hopefully they're still together.
I hope so. Mia Thermopolis deserves this.
Amelia, that's wrong. Thermopolis.
This is
Grimaldi.
not an ASMR
Grimaldi.
podcast. You got to put some air behind those lungs, honey.
That's funny.
I'm
be.
not feeling confident about her name.
It's
I used to
quieter
know it
and
by
quiet.
heart.
She's like,
But anyways, no, but I did want to
Mia?
plug really quick. I wrote an article about it
Mia?
because hello. I wrote an article about 3 newer Halloween shorts because we all love Trick or Treat, Lonesome Ghost, The Skeleton Dance. We love those classic ones, right? But there's 3 newer ones. One that I never even heard of before, kind of flew under my radar. It's called The Scariest Story Ever, a Mickey Mouse Halloween Spooktacular. And it involves Mickey telling all the nephews some scary stories.
is it in like the style of the
Yes.
shorts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
And
I like
there's
those.
one though that like it's a retelling of Frankenstein, and Donald Duck plays Igor or Duck-Or.
Oh, so
And
funny.
I was laughing so hard, and Goofy's not like throughout the whole entire short. It's so cute, and I love it.
I feel like it kind of goes Rocky Horror Picture Show, kind
Yeah.
of how they do like the little dance scene
yes,
there.
yeah,
That
I
one's
could have to
good.
watch
The
this.
last story is actually it haunts me. It's pretty
Oh,
creepy.
Yeah, it is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
My kid makes me watch that one at least once a day, so I got it memorized.
But no, I had an okay time. How about you guys?
What
How
about
did
you,
guys
Hannah?
fare?
How'd you survive your hurricane, Hannah?
I did okay. My dad is super into making sure that I'm prepared, and he's all about weather. So it was like constant updates. And man, I was ready. We were gassed up. We had everything charged. We had all the snacks. We had all the water. And this is the worst hurricane I've experienced living here in the past 7 years. So I will say that it was definitely. I think it was where I was worse than Irma, which I feel like was the comparison storm. But it was fine. I didn't lose power. Same thing. I stayed inside, ate all my hurricane snacks, drank all my gin, watched some Halloween movies. I know somebody in the comments really quick mentioned the Terrifier movies.
Yeah.
I had never seen those until recently, and okay.
I'm
I'm not that brave, guys.
I think Molly from Mammoth Club has been rewatching them lately, and so I've been messaging her about horror movies and stuff. But
yeah.
she was telling me, she's like, "There's no plot to these or anything." and they're
No,
just
I'm
gross.
like, where is
I'm
his
good.
backstory? Where is his origin story? Like, what are
Yeah,
we?
is he magical? Is he?
Yeah, I think
whatever?
so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Anyways.
love horror movies, but that's one that I've not been tempted to get into. I'm good.
It's for the gore. Well, tell us about your hurricane
Well,
experience.
I was fine. I mean, I got the dogs and I survived. You know, I did it all myself. I put up the I put up the plywood downstairs. Well, the plywood by myself.
You put
was
up
incredible.
plywood?
Yeah. Well, because on the first floor I have that window. So I live in a townhouse that's like. So there's like a window right at the front door, and I was like, "Girl, I ain't gonna mess around with this." So I put up the plywood, and I had all the hurricane supplies. I was like working day and night to be prepped. Like I would start like filling up all the different waters. I was freezing ice left and right. I had I had prepped my car in case I had to like grab the dogs and throw them in there and get away. So I like got an emergency bag packed and everything. And
that was smart.
So it was one of those where it was just I felt like I was nonstop moving, and you know, and then obviously I had to upload the shows and stuff, so I had to do some work in between. But like it was a lot. It was stressful, and luckily everything was good. Power only flickered on and off here and there, but it wasn't extended, so that was really good. And yeah, it was. I agree with you. The scariest part, I think, of it for me was the tornadoes, the constant tornado.
That went on for a while.
Warnings, and it was like, yeesh.
And that was before the storm got here too.
Yeah, and it was for like hours. It was so it's like you were supposed to sit, you know. And what's insane, and then we'll move into the Disney discussion. Is just that like on the official Florida like website, because I was like, I don't know what to do if there's a tornado in Florida. In Massachusetts, I'd go into the basement. We don't have those here. The number one thing listed on the Florida website, I think the person should be fired for it, is go to your basement. Girl.
Oh, really?
Where?
No.
Where?
Right.
Where?
Nobody has a basement in Florida because of a flood.
So, whatever. But we made it. So I'm happy. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
No,
getting,
go
I'm getting
ahead.
fired up. There's something about, the rush of having my feet in the air, I guess. I just want to give...
I can't edit that out.
Okay. Yeah. I said it.
Oh, my God.
So if you're coming to Florida in the next week, because I know a lot of people have fall breaks, and you're driving, gas is not 100% back everywhere. So just make sure you're gassed up if you drive down here.
Yes, that is a really, really good tip.
Back to you for a second.
Back to me. Back to you in the studio. I think that's really smart, actually. That's what I did too. I was like, gas these babies up right away, because who knows what's going on here. But I think the power has been restored to a lot of places, which is good. But it's still a crazy time because we still got the craziness in North Carolina. There's a lot of people here who have, their houses have been damaged and everything like that. So we're okay. Maybe put your energy and attention to those and be able to give back in any way that you can. That would be, I think, really helpful there. Hannah just talked about if you're coming to Florida in the next couple of weeks, and I actually think this is a great little segue. Why don't we talk about some Disney discounts? So for those of you who have been following along for the last couple of weeks, we like to do this little section now where we, because Mama loves a deal. And so I wanted to make sure that whenever we could highlight some really great offers that are here that people could take advantage of, or if you're starting to plan that trip or everything. So I'm going to turn it over to the discount diva herself, and she's going to run us through those.
All right, I got some good ones for y'all this week.
Yes, please.
So we got a deal coming out next week, actually exactly a week from today, and it's for the West Coast. So we're going to go over to Disneyland right now.
West Side,
West Coast, Best Coast. So starting October 22nd, you can begin booking. There's 2 discounts at Disneyland. One is a resort discount, and this is for everybody. It applies to all 3 of the Disneyland resort hotels. So that's going to be the Grand Californian, the Disneyland Hotel, and the new villas at the Disneyland Hotel, and the brand new Pixar Place Hotel. So it's a range of percentage off, and this is actually both of these deals, so remember this, are for stays January 7th through March 20th. So I think this is a great idea, maybe if you're looking for, like, I don't know, a unique experience to gift for the holidays, or maybe you're like me and you get sad after the holidays and you want to do something fun. January through March next year, you could book a trip. So you can save up to 20% off of both standard and premium rooms Sunday through Thursday nights. And then also for the Grand Californian and the Disneyland Hotel. But if you want to stay at the brand new Pixar Place Hotel, which is a little less expensive, you can save up to 10% off.
Oh.
Yep, Sunday through Thursday night.
Hannah, real quick, how would you rank in the terms of the hotels that you would pick to stay in? How would you rank it out there? You can be honest too.
Oh yeah, Grand Cal for me is like number one,
Yeah,
and
we
high
know.
up there.
Mama likes her. Mama likes her pampering.
She does. I like that spa there too. The spa's really good. Then I would say Pixar Place.
Yeah, I think I
then
would do
Disneyland.
Grand Cal, Pixar, Disneyland. Not that I don't like
Hey.
Disneyland, but it's just I think that's just fun to know in there too. But go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say, so even though you're saving 10% less on the Pixar Place Hotel, it is always less expensive than the Disneyland Hotel. Is the same walk, I think, really, from the Disneyland Hotel, and the theming is fantastic. And then also, okay, you can, so the broad offer is that you can save up to 25% off if you're staying 4 nights or longer, which I think I would recommend at Disneyland, even if you've been before, especially if you're traveling out there. I think you need 3 to 4 days in the park.
I think so for sure.
So, yeah. So, things to keep in mind. You can start booking that next week, October 22nd. Go ahead and reach out to your Dreams Unlimited travel agent, though. We can get you on a wait list for that because this is going to be popular. So, depending on the date, they're going to book up. So, if you're interested, you want to go ahead and reach out to your travel agent. And again, that's for stage January 7th through March 20th.
I think that's all. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's a great time of year to go out there because they do a celebration. They have Lunar New Year that's happening out there, and they have a bunch of food booths and like cool offerings that I was fortunate enough to go out for that like 2 years ago, maybe like 3, and I loved it, and the weather is wonderful that time of year. It's a little chilly, I like, but it's like when you're at Disneyland, those people are dressing a little classier than we dress here in Florida. Like no insult to the people in Florida, because obviously we have Miss Fashionista over here, but there it's like you can put on that layer. Everyone's got they do the bounding and all that sort of stuff, and it's like crack out some of those Disney hoodies and jackets and sweatshirts that you like so much, But
Or do like I do and forget how chilly it gets at night, and then you just have to buy a sweatshirt every time you're out there.
Whoops.
My bad.
Go
but
ahead,
when you're
tell us-
saving up to 25% on your hotel, buy that sweatshirt. You can. So we got one more deal out at Disneyland. It is again, you can start booking it next week on October 22nd. The date range is January 7th through March 20th. And this is for your kids. So children ages 3 to 9 can visit the Disneyland Resort with a ticket that is $50 per kid.
That's wild.
Yeah. So this is for a 1-day, 1-part ticket. But don't worry, you should go more than that. And I think you should have a park hopper. So you can do that. You can also upgrade to a 1, 2, or 3-day ticket. You can also add the park hopper option and Lightning Lane if you want. But that base ticket is $50 basically per child per day, which is a great deal. I got to tell you, so my kid is 2.5. And so I'll be paying for a ticket for him soon. And the children's tickets really aren't leaps and bounds less than the adult ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, $50 per kid per day. So you combine those savings. That's really good, guys. So you should go to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
I also,
Just talk to Rhino.
I love, well, I like talking about things like this. It's not just to sell the travel, but it's just honestly like if we were unattached to a travel agency, this is something I'd still like to talk about because I think, especially in this day and age when things have gotten so much pricier and more expensive, that when there is a deal like this, especially with a kid's ticket being that like less expensive than it's been, not less inexpensive. It helps people kind of get through that barrier to be like, okay, let me tiptoe and let me try that first trip. Let me do this thing. Like, I don't know. Sometimes if I can get in on a coupon and then I fall in love with it, then it's worth it or not for you. You know what I mean? Like
Like the Crocs.
Everybody's vibe. Yeah. Like the Crocs.
Like these bad
The
boys.
Crocs that guide us all.
Wait, we can only see your sexy leg.
I can't
remember?
only show the bottom. I can't do it.
Remember when Cruella
I'm
de
not taking it
Vil
off.
called your sexy legs?
Oh
goodness.
my!
Yeah.
If everyone wants to see Cruella de Vil call my legs
Cat
sexy,
call right
watch
now.
that video.
Ka-chow.
Yeah, ka-chow indeed, honey.
So so you're saving up to 25%. Like Rhino said, it's a great time to visit Disneyland.
Yeah.
And if you have kids, then you're saving even more. So check that out. Or
That's
like
through
I
March
said,
when?
March 20th.
Oh, we're going
you're-
right after that, I think.
Oh, true. But I mean, that's kind of early spring break days for people, and you got some holiday weekends in there, so you don't have to pull the kids out from school. You should go.
Yeah.
You should all go.
I
I got one more for you.
Oh, you got another one?
Yes. Okay.
Girl,
all right.
she keeps going.
I keep going.
Okay.
So, all right, now we're gonna head out to sea, and do the
Sorry, that
horn.
was the-
Do the do do do.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I can't do it. I'm embarrassed for
It was
myself.
good. It was good. Not any worse about my croc comment, but so there are. I know we've talked about this before.
Go ahead.
Bon voyage.
I don't know. All right. So
I had
there are these
caffeine. Can people
things-
tell?
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Did you drink? Is that what's in that cup of Celsius?
Yeah,
Stop it.
I,
Stop it.
I,
Oh my
someone made a
gosh.
comment about me drinking, and I was like, honey, this is Celsius.
Yeah, but it's I think somehow worse. Like
Yeah.
you just go to 100 so quick.
Well, I do have the turbo mode on my Crocs.
Oh, me too.
It's on the back of
Chloe
the ankle.
doesn't. She's
Okay.
chilling over
Yeah.
there.
All right, sorry, Hannah. Go ahead,
cool
go
for
ahead,
the
so we can
strap.
talk about why they're closing Dinosaur. Go.
All right. So we talked about this before. Disney Cruise Line does this thing called guaranteed stateroom categories, which means you save in like 20% on your cruise. You don't pick your actual stateroom, but you pick the category. So like, for example, you say, I want a veranda stateroom. And you save money on that. And the crazy thing is, the list of options available right now is insane. You can book a cruise at this discount now. I saw all the way through February. So a lot of times these rates are kind of like more of a last minute thing. Not so much right now. And I'm seeing it for the Disney Wish, the Magic, the Dream, the Fantasy. So almost any ship and itinerary is available.
Holy ship!
Holy ship.
Gotta pop the P so they know I didn't swear.
Yeah. So to give you an example of one of the really good rates we found, there is a 4-night Very Maritime cruise, which the Disney cruises during Christmas time are just so good. It's December 14th. It is on the Disney Wish sailing from Port Canaveral. And for 2 adults in a veranda stateroom, the total cost comes to around $2,700. 2 adults, veranda stateroom, 4-night cruise, guys.
Wow, yeah.
And it's a $100 onboard credit just for booking with Dreams Unlimited Travel too. So not to make it a sales pitch, but you're going to pay the $2,700 anyways, and then we're going to give you a $100 onboard credit, and you can use that.
And you get a
for-
little basket.
You get a gift basket because we love
Ooh.
you. But that onboard credit, you can do souvenirs. You could get, maybe a martini for mom.
Mm-hmm.
A
You can
rainforest
even-
room pass.
Rainforest room pass. Great, 10 out of 10 recommend.
Mm-hmm.
You also can pay for your prepaid gratuities using that onboard.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or pay for your gratuities that way.
Oh,
so that's a
yeah, one less thing to
savings.
worry about with money. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. So go to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. We've got the full list of discounted cruises. There's so many that you're going to have to scroll. So yeah, that's what I got. It's
Well,
pretty good.
thank you, Dave. I'm going to work on a little I gotta
A little jingle?
Yeah, I want like the segment intros, so it to be like da 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 da
You know
discount
what?
diva. Something.
Yes, perfect. I want like a first episode of WandaVision type, like an I Love Lucy intro for mine.
We should film one.
Okay, let's do it.
We'll do it. Yeah, we'll have you come in. Yeah,
I
that'll be
also-
fun.
I really want to suggest the Disney Cruise Line chime that they play for announcements, like the calm little one. I would
so
love that every
good.
time we bring up Disney Cruise Line because that would bring me so much joy, and I'm sure it'd bring everybody else joy.
Well, I'll bring my talk boy and we'll hold it against the speaker and try and record it while we're there. So we'll get it.
Great, sounds good.
Credit card, you got it.
I'm the father.
The father, Peter McAllister, the father. I actually do still have a talk boy, so we're good.
I know you do.
All right. Well, thank you, Hannah. I wanted
Thank
to
you,
start
Reno.
that show with some ways to save money. I feel like sometimes it gets a little buried. We'll sprinkle it throughout the show whenever. But some pretty good deals there. We're going to talk about Walt Disney World now because get this. we got some timelines for the DinoLand closures, which I made a little slide for, and it says "Beat it, bozo." It doesn't. It
How
doesn't.
could you?
But we do have. We know that Triceratops. I wrote spring in here. Triceratops spin, Fossil Fun Games, and Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasure at Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park will officially close on January 13th, 2025. Dinosaur, the Boneyard, Restaurantosaurus, Dino Bite Snacks, and Trillo Bites will remain open. Discuss. I am happy it is going in this direction. Like, I'm glad that it's not Dinosaur closing first and then the other stuff.
And we get another Christmas in the land,
I think so.
right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
I would hope
I'm
so,
sad
but I don't
about-
know.
I'm most sad about the ladder. The
The
Chester
one you've
and
been
Hester's
climbing?
Dino
Oh.
Treasures. No, the ladder.
Oh,
aforementioned. Yes, because that is my favorite little gift shop on property. Not so much for the merchandise, though. You can typically find like some popular items because that sell out quicker. You can often find them there because people don't really think to check there sometimes because it's kind of like out of the way gift shop. But the theming in that gift shop is so cute.
good.
It's so crazy and kitschy, and I love it to pieces.
You-
So I'm most sad about that going.
You think
away.
those plushes are going to end up at the outlets and stuff?
Oh, the fossil
They'll end
ones?
up like selling them somehow, or do you think they'll
Fossil
just
Fun
put them
games?
in the
Unless
in the
they
gift
discount
shops?
those arcade games, they're gonna have a lot left over because I
Yeah.
have that whole story about
I
how
feel like
I'd
they're going to end
spend-
up at Cast Connection.
Yeah.
would
Yeah,
be my
probably before that,
guess
yeah.
for the cast members, but
I mean,
Yeah.
we've decided that we this week we're going to go film it. We are going to go have a DinoLand day, and we're going to go do it top to tail, tip to tail. No, I don't like where this is headed.
it's that kind of episode, baby.
Yeah, apparently. But we're gonna go, and so hopefully, if it all goes well, the scheduling for this video will be that next week we're gonna have a DinoLand themed week here at the Diz. So we're gonna have a vlog of our experience in the park from beginning to end, trying to just like cover and just like experience the entirety of it while we still have all of it. And then later that week we will also have a review of Restaurantosaurus. Maybe we'll have a snack attack from like I've never gotten anything at Trillo Bites, and I always walk by and I'm always like, we should try those buffalo chicken things, even though I don't like buffalo chicken, but I'd like to try it so I could say I had it. We'll do the Restaurantosaurus Lounge, so we'll have a Disney Unlimited happy hour, and we'll obviously do one of my absolute favorite rides at Walt Disney World ever, which is Dinosaur, and so look forward to that. So next week it's all about dinosaurs. It's a dynamite week here at the Diz Unlimited.
I was waiting for it. Good job.
Yeah, so we'll be doing that. So stay tuned for that sort of content. We did learn about some more things as well. One of those is we got to talk about The Little Mermaid over at Hollywood Studios, right? So the Little Mermaid, a musical adventure, a theatrical production at Disney's Hollywood Studios, has been postponed, but this is the first time we've heard about it even mentioned since they talked about it when Country Bear opened in like July. So it's been postponed from fall of this year, shocker, because we are like deep into fall, to summer 2025. The removal of the old show marquee will begin in the coming weeks. Chloe, why does this make you sad or nervous? Tell me.
Oh, it doesn't make me nervous. What?
Well, remember, people are listening. They can't just see your face.
because we haven't heard news about where Monsters Incorporated is going.
Wait, I think this is a sign it could be going there. And they're baiting us. They're saying it'll come next summer, but they didn't say where. They're taking down the sign.
No,
It's possible.
Wouldn't they say no? No,
Well,
wouldn't
no,
they just say it's going to close instead?
Maybe they're moving it somewhere else. Maybe they will still have the show, but it won't be where you think it's going to be.
I don't know. It's all really vague. Who
It
knows?
is.
But I'm still scared for Grand Avenue / Muppets. So I'm scared.
I'm surprised. I mean, I thought maybe that the pushback of Muppets was going to be. I feel like this is a little bit telling. I think it's still a maybe, but it also is like maybe a lot of maybes here. That Monsters Inc. the coaster won't be in production for like a couple more years. So they're like, well, we are already invested in the show. We might as well open the show for at least like 2 years until we have to absolutely like close it. But even then, in that concept art, that building kind of still is there. So, but
I'm still scared until anything concrete is announced, though, because I thought we'd definitely hear by now. It's been, almost 3 months since
it's
D23.
been 1 week since you looked.
3 months, 2 months, 2 months. But yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. What I think is kind of crazy is that at Magic Kingdom, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is going to close on January 6, 2025 for an extended refurbishment. That thing's going to be closed for like over a year.
That's insane to me.
A full year. I have to assume that they're doing something now that they aren't going to be able to do when they start the Cars Land construction over there. So I don't know if that's true, but like I don't think it's like retheming or anything. Maybe we're finally getting the explosion like they have at Disneyland.
Oh my gosh, right.
Yeah.
I sure hope so. For a year
New track.
plus. I mean, new track, I think there's also rumors that they might be altering some bits over there to accommodate the pathway to villains that will be over there. Who knows?
sense.
A year plus is a long time
Yes, it
for a
is.
few enhancements. So we'll see.
I'll be honest, this is kind of making me sad for the next couple of years at Walt Disney World because we are talking about closures that we knew were coming. But at the same time, it's like, well, okay, we're not going to get Cars Land or Villains Land for, I don't know. It's going to be a while. So I think the next couple of years are going to be a little quiet. I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah, I know. That's the part. I feel like we had these like monumentous announcements, and then it was kind of like, okay, well, when? Like when are you starting on? You got to start somewhere, and I don't want the entirety of Walt Disney World to be under construction, major construction.
Again.
And that's the thing. So if you're telling me all of DinoLand, that's a major construction area. You're telling me at Hollywood Studios that would be a major construction project, and Cars Land and Magic Kingdom. So what do we have? Just Animal Kingdom? No, I just said
No,
Animal
we got
Kingdom.
Epcot. We get the garden.
We got the garden. Whatever. Well, you know what they say: when one railroad closes, a cruise jingles. As they often say. The original version of Jungle Cruise will be reopening on October 16th, which is tomorrow, and then Jingle Cruise will return to the Magic Kingdom beginning November 2nd, 2024.
Yay.
This is something that you can experience all day. It's not part of the Christmas party or anything like that. It is a nice overlay for the entirety of the season, which is really nice. I think this will be kind of the first holiday offering, because if it starts on the 2nd, what is Halloween, a Thursday?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so usually November
the first
2nd.
Christmas party is the 8th. So
Yeah.
But they have the holiday decorations usually up in Magic Kingdom that day, too.
quick turnaround.
I can't wait. My Mariah Carey is thawing out
She's
at
thawing
home.
out, yeah.
And she ready.
Well, Hannah also tells me, just another update about Walt Disney World, that apparently bookings begin today for Disney's Polynesian Island Tower. When is that supposed to open?
It's opening in December, mid-December. Let me double check. I think it's December 16th.
Of this year?
This year, girl?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I
Ramping up
know.
construction. It's yeah.
I feel
good.
like it's the last minute stuff that goes pretty quick because most of the outside is done. Yeah, December 16th is when it's going to open.
Wild. December 16th, that opens, and then what's the treasure? When does that set sail? That's like right before Christmas. There's a lot of things happening literally days before Christmas.
Yeah, that is true.
It's wild.
Let me double check. I got that
Wild
right.
and crazy stuff. Wow.
I'm excited about the Island Tower because oh, wait. No, I completely lied. Starting November 5th.
No. So it's
Wait,
open-
no. So that's when, oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. So October 29th, if you're a DVC member, wait. I don't know.
Wait.
I don't know. I'm not a DVC member, so I'm getting this all wrong. Okay, it opens December 17th. Back to you, Rhino.
Back to me. December 17th, everybody. We can finally. Here's all I want to come from this. I want the pathway that you can walk from Polynesian. I want that to reopen to the Grand. We had it for such a short amount of time.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
And, we talk about the craziness of not being able to walk places. It's like that thing, at least I would have. On these nights where hopefully now the humidity will be a little bit better, what a
I
walk
think
it would be.
is.
So.
Yeah, we're in it.
Well, let's talk about Disneyland again for a little bit, because Disneyland has announced that Lewis's Critter Club, a new retail shop in Bayou Country at Disneyland Park, will begin welcoming guests on Wednesday, November 13th. That is 2 days before Tiana's Bayou Adventure opens in that park, which is opening Friday, November 15th, which is also, I believe, the beginning of holidays at Disneyland. I am actually really curious to see. For one, it's interesting. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I was like that their merchandise is going on sale 2 days before their attraction, whereas like ours, they were like, don't you dare sell that before. But I guess if it's already like kind of out, it's like whatever.
I imagine it's a lot of the same merchandise too. I don't feel like there was too much that specifically said Walt Disney World on it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think the demand's probably kind of low. We also, when we went to the outlet a couple weeks ago, they had some of the Tiana's Bayou Adventure merchandise at our Disney outlet stores already. So, I think the demand's kind of low.
Well, that is that
for the critters.
I mean, I'm curious to see how the attraction experience will be different from ours over there, because if you're not, if you've never ridden it, it feels like a fever dream compared to ours a little bit, because they load more like our Space Mountain, where it's like front to back instead of side to side. And I feel like the flume, like the log moves through the flume faster, so much faster. And the animatronics, like the like setting, the scenery is a little bit closer to your vehicle. And so like for me, it's that weird, my brain is always just like, monsters, like I get scared. So, cause they're like too big. Yeah.
Turtle.
And, but I'm curious how that pacing will affect the storytelling of the attraction, and their laughing place is a little bit different too. So, I'm very curious to see how it goes over there. I'm also curious to see because they were already like a New Orleans square, so I feel like it's going to be interesting. I did see some annual pass holders, or excuse me, magic key holders, were kind of complaining, or not complaining, but pointing out that new Haunted Mansion gift shop, because like the structure of it is there, and they were like, oh wow, you just built this, like technically changed the exterior of Splash Mountain into this like, supposed to be this like salt mine, whatever. And you've blocked the view of it with the new building. So like you can't see it until you're up and on the hill now, instead of like down where you were at Haunted Mansion.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. We'll see it in person, I guess, eventually. But
I'm excited for that pathway to open up again, because that was kind of a bummer not being able to walk that way over by Critter Country. Wasn't that closed for a little bit? You couldn't go past Haunted Mansion? I thought it was when we were there in August. You couldn't. So if you wanted to go to Galaxy's Edge that way, you had to loop around.
Oh my! I didn't know that. Yeah,
I think so.
I don't know. I was only in the park for like for a couple hours that trip, so I don't think I made it that far back. But wow. So that'll be good. That'll be fun. I believe Magic Key Holder previews for Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Disneyland start this month on like the 21st. And then the attraction itself, like I said, opens Friday, November 15th. But hey, you know what? Speaking of Thanksgiving. Yeah, I know. There was no way. Thank you for loving me. We got some news here. Look at this baby. Look at this little float.
Ooh, wow. It's so pretty.
Disney Cruise Line shared a first look at the Magic Meets the Seas float set to debut in Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade this year. The design features the bows of 8 Disney Cruise Line ships, with the focal point being the Disney Treasure. Now, I think I actually have a second look at this too. Hold on. That's me. Hi.
I'm still not used to saying 8 ships.
Yeah,
that's
I
wild
have a question.
To me.
Yeah, what you got?
Does it show it in the details? Because we don't have the names. We do have the names of all 8, don't we?
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Never mind.
You're crazy.
Yeah, I know.
It's just hard to believe we have 8.
Yeah,
That's why.
that's wild.
Yeah. I'm assuming by the art that we're seeing here, if you're watching this, the float is stopped right in front of Macy's, and there's a bunch of characters on the ground and everything. And I'm assuming we're gonna get a nice little little song and a dance.
They did last year.
Yeah,
something similar. Do you guys watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day
I do.
Parade?
I do, but I'm personally offended that the Power Ranger float isn't in it anymore. personally offended.
When did that stop?
Like a year or two ago.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever go to the show? I mean, I know you didn't go to MGM a lot as a kid, but did you ever see the Power Rangers in there at MGM Studios back in
honey,
the day?
they used to come out right in front of Lights, Motors, Action, which is where I
Oh,
worked.
that's
so I'd
right.
be like,
They did
I'd
up
like to
in
be
Disneyland.
Greeter. I'd like to be Greeter. I knew all the songs the car played and everything.
Do you have photos with them?
Yeah.
All
every
right,
single
I want
one.
to see sometime.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Oh
resume.
no, I'm very skinny and I don't have a beard. Those will remain
Who's that
locked.
baby?
Sure.
Those are on like a Facebook account. They're not even. I didn't know if Instagram was even a thing back then.
Nothing I haven't seen
I'll
before.
find it.
But I do have some of them. One of them's like up in my lot, like right next to. I got a lot of Power Rangers up stuff and displayed in my apartment, and so I got a little picture. If you look real close, there's one of me up there.
That cute.
Yeah. So I'd also like to mention before I go, I'm also realizing
Before you go, where are we going?
Well, you guys are going to stay here. I'm just going to walk up and leave out of the room. No.
I told you I wasn't doing more feet content. Okay.
Before we tiptoe into the after hours, no.
I know.
Before we go, all of us together, I would be remiss not to mention some big rumor that we've got going. We kind of already, those of us in the know, not in the know, I want to be like, those of us in theme park communities who love to chat, and probably a lot of you out there who listen to this podcast and our Universal podcast and everything, you know, we've got a love of theme parks, right? So we've kind of all heard about this one that's being built just up the street. Universal's Epic Universe, and I believe the Wall Street Journal actually just put out an article today that kind of says there's a rumor that tickets to Universal Epic Universe, let me use the full name, will go on sale very soon, like maybe this month, and that they think the park is going to open Memorial Day weekend. You know, which makes sense, and I think we were all kind of like expecting that, but I don't know. It's just a rumor. I don't know if I believe it, and I hope they just set themselves up for success in terms of all of this, that it's like completely done. It's not a rush at the last minute, because I feel like that's almost, and I'm not speaking negatively of it, but that's sort of what happened with Volcano Bay, is they sort of set the date, and because it was the same weekend that Pandora opened, they were basically like, we need a little bit more time. And they were like, no, the park will open. And at my media event, there was still like the Sharpie on the railings with like the construction tape in some places and like plants hadn't been installed yet. And it's like, Universal of late, whenever they've been opening attractions, I feel like the attraction's been pretty ready to go pretty early on, right? Like they've done lengthy annual pass holder previews, lengthy like team member previews. I mean, Velocicoaster was done really far ahead of time, you know.
And quietly.
Yeah, and I feel like they've been very successful for that, and I hope that's kind of what's going to continue with this. It is one of those things where if you live here and you're a local, like I drive through that area and I'm like, that roadway, the roads are not done yet. And I know that's
and even
not.
that takes a long time.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. And we're crisscrossing over there still. So you're driving on the wrong side of the road at some points. And it's weird. It's not weird, but it is one of those, like, it's crazy when you get this close to things being finished where you're like, how quickly stuff starts to take shape at the end, you know, because it goes from just a pile of sand into these like enormous lands. Like I drove by the other day and I could see the monsters area.
Fun fact about that: when they built my house, the dirt that they moved from building my neighborhood, they took it to Epic Universe.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
they did. So
A piece
it's
of
like
Hannah lives in Epic Universe.
That's right. My heart will go on.
She's gonna go visit her mound.
I saw someone that was near the area the other night, like a couple nights ago, that they were testing the lighting on Starfall Racers.
Oh, yeah, I
as
saw
it was
that.
going.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That is so cool.
It seems like a lot of the ones that we can see from the outside, they're already pretty well along. But that doesn't mean the pathways and you know all of the different facilities they need throughout are that far along. But I feel like May is a pretty realistic timeline for them.
Well, it's gonna be May.
Yeah, it's gonna be May. It's gonna be May. Walking through that park in May.
It's gotta be May.
That one always gets me. I'm curious about the ticket prices and what that means for pass holders too. So I am
Prices
excited
are
to see
definitely
that.
going up,
And they're saying this month we only got 2 more weeks left. So
well, I just
buckle up. Let's find out.
renewed my annual pass because that expired like the last day of September or something, and I couldn't believe, like, they were like, okay, you got the, you know, so if you are an annual pass holder and you maintain your annual pass, like if you renew it ahead of time, there's usually a discount if you pay it in full, which is what I always do anyways, because I don't like thinking about it and it's a work related thing. So it was like $800 and something. It was like nearing $900, and I was like, girl, I thought this was like $600 and something. When did this go up? And that doesn't include a third park, but I mean it does include water park, and I do have the higher pass that gives you the express after 4 and stuff. But
and that free HHN night if you're not a free fear holder.
And I do still think there is a lot of value. I think that a Universal annual pass holds a lot of value, sometimes more per dollar, I think, than because you also get the discounts at the food, on the merchandise, at the food in way more places than you do at a Walt Disney World park. I know it's not the same experience. I know it's not the same thing, and we could talk about that forever and ever and ever. But I'm just saying it's very exciting time, I think, to be like a theme park fan, and whether
absolutely.
you care about Universal or not. I know we'll talk more about this on the Universal podcast, but I just think it's kind of an exciting time if you're somebody who comes to Orlando. If you're here, I think it's going to spread out the crowds a little bit more, and I'll be curious to see if we get another. There is already a really good dining deal right now if you're booking Universal for a trip that starts, I think, like November 4th through April, the beginning of April, and it's like you can get up to $1,000 for a dining card. $1,000 that can be used, food and drinks in these restaurants and things like that.
I'm telling you, that's the best theme park deal I think I've seen all year is that dining card, because all right, I can't believe I'm saying this. In a lot of ways, I think it's better than the Disney dining plan because you're not restricted to certain meals or credits. It's just cash. And so if you want to use that for City Walk or a snack or a drink or whatever, you don't have to keep up with points or credits. You can just spend your money. So it's a great deal, and it goes through spring break. So if you got kids, take them down here.
I just wanted to say, Peyton's been firing off in the chat, and they were asking when construction started at Epic Universe, and it was March 2021 when work resumed.
Okay.
So we're talking March 2021 to probably May 2025. That's such a quick.
That is
comparatively what we're so used to with like Disney
it's a whole dang
building
theme
times.
Park.
Yeah, just shy of 4.5 years for a
and
whole
it's
park.
Completely undeveloped area. Like it's not like you're fitting it in a footprint that they already had. So like you were talking about like the road that they're going to have to build and all this like infrastructure stuff that takes a lot of time. Universal is quick. I'll give them that.
Peyton also asked for a price breakdown / value of Disney and Universal annual passes, and I think that's a great idea. It's a good
I think we'll do that on the Universal show though, because I think I've been definitely looking for ideas because we're talking about it here, and we'll just be open and honest about it, is that I'm trying to figure out. I think there is a great opportunity, and I'm not even trying to do it in a way to sell travel. Like yes, you can book with Dreams Unlimited Travel and stuff like that. But I'm just looking at it as somebody who's a fan of these products like Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Universal Studios, about how like I love to share the things I love with other people. I think that's one of my like sort of love language things. And so I think there's a lot of I think there's some really amazing things that Disney fans specifically would really enjoy in the experience of Universal that they maybe never had. I mean, like Spider-Man, the Spider-Man attraction at Islands of Adventure is one of the best theme park attractions in Central Florida, I think, in the domestic parks in the United States. Like, and it's like 20-something years old, but it's an incredible attraction. And there's some stuff. So it's really for me being like, oh, I'm excited. I want to know, I really do want to be like, hey, you've maybe like thought about it. Here's a great time to do it.
Right.
It's the same. It's the tips and tricks. I don't want people to waste their time or their money or the effort because, girl, trust me, I am at that age too where I'm just like, no,
be bothered.
I don't. Well, yeah, exactly. So it is one of those where it's just like I don't want people to. I don't want it to come off like pushy or whatever thing.
No,
but,
I mean, take it or leave it. But
and I just think we have a great window upon us right now where you could go into that and experience something.
Well, and I also think if you are a Disney fan who maybe hasn't done Universal or hasn't done it for a while, I think this is the time to go before Epic Universe opens because I think that's also going to be crazy. Once it does open for a while, I think it's going to be crowded, obviously in high demand. So if that's not a huge thing for you, I would go now and get the discount and then maybe give Epic a year or two if you're not a super fan of Universal.
Yeah, I think the reason why I wanted to bring it up on the Disney podcast is just because I think it's something to consider, when coming down, especially for people who come to Disney World all the time. I know we've got our favorite things and something, but I think we're tiptoeing to that area where it's like, a day, checking it out for like a day.
I did that. It was my first Universal experience. I went from Disney property, did a day, and came back. And I thought it was great, especially as a Disney fan who had never even been to Universal. I think just to see it and kind of cross it off your theme park list, and then you're probably going to like it and probably going to want to go back. So.
Well, I think it's I'm one of those people where it is always like wherever I'm traveling somewhere, I'm always like, well, I'm already going there. What can I add on while I'm there? Like when we went to Alaska for work, our layover was in Seattle, and I basically was like, okay, when am I ever flying up to this part of the world again? So
You went to Starbucks?
I went to Starbucks. I was like, okay, well, how much is a hotel for a night? And I found a hotel that was like 200 or like under 200. And it was a pretty nice hotel. It turned out to be, thank God. But it was, I had some friends who had moved into that area, and I went out that night, and I'm so happy because for me it was like a little preview, and it, yes, $200 is a lot of money, but it also was like, wow, in the grand scheme of things, it was like I wasn't paying for the flight, I wasn't paying for all this other stuff, so I was like, okay, to be able to experience this like little thing, it's so much less to be able to just add a little bit more in the long run of things, and then also I feel like you're not, it softens the leap. Because you're just like, well, I'm already in the pool. I might as well just swim a little bit farther.
Right.
I might as well just blow the float up just a little bit more. Yeah. So we do have a couple of minutes here before we go. If anybody has anything they want to talk about a little bit. I did want to bring up Teresa because I know there was questions about where Teresa is. And I think she was planning on being on the show today. And we can't wait for her to come back. I think it was just that the Welcome Center is located right outside of the cruise line port down in Port Canaveral.
Yeah.
And so I think they got power back. They had been without power, and now they have power. And so I think
they've been having Wi-Fi issues and phone issues. So I think it's resolved now. But they've just been, and we've all. I was kind of busy last week with travel because I think obviously people were adjusting travel plans, and people are also starting to go on fall breaks and
and so I think it's just she's catching up on that, and then hopefully we have her next week. But I'm really happy that we have this chat going because I completely forgot to put it in here, and I literally had a note for it. Is that guys? Can we talk about that tease that Paint the Night might be coming back?
I can't wait. I teared up when I
the music,
saw it.
the music alone. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for that parade to come back. I hope it comes back obviously ASAP, but no idea when. Yeah, that was such a tease.
What if it's coming back after the holidays, in January? What do you think?
I would love that because again, I think I don't know if it would, only because they will have the booth set up for Lunar New Year and stuff like that. Although I don't know if that was officially announced yet.
But they have so many festivals now, I don't know. I think they just got to work around this.
Well, actually, never mind. They did the cavalcade and stuff in the Pixar parade while the booths were out there. So I'm talking out my butt.
Don't worry about my parade.
I'm not a parade gal. By any means, not a fan of the effort involved to it.
But what magic happens?
No, parades period because I hate the Electromagic parade or Spectrum Magic. I wish they would just never bring it back. Not Spectrum Magic. Main Street Electrical Parade.
Oh,
I am so exhausted by it. And I hate the sound of it. Sorry.
What about Magic Happens? Daytime Parade Disneyland.
I love
that doesn't give
Magic
you the
Happens. I would watch that all day, 8 hours a day.
Chloe, she's her hand raised.
And then, I'd like to finish my sentence.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chloe.
No,
everybody be quiet.
That's just supposed to be for Rhino. I was just wondering, and Peyton just brought it up too, if we think that there's gonna be any new floats for Paint the Night, because sometimes they typically, Incredibles or was Frozen the?
I think it was Incredibles.
Was the latest one that was added. So I wonder if there's gonna be anything new.
Well, Hannah's biggest concern is if Mac was going to be there, and he was the tease.
That was in the teaser. Yeah,
and listen,
that's my favorite.
Gang, should we get the Lightning McQueen Crocs?
Yes.
For Paint the Night, if that happened, right?
Yes.
There's only one right response.
Please, I need that. I need that.
You guys can wear your Halloween costumes again too.
Ka-chow.
You can be the Lightning McQueen girls.
Will.
Yeah,
I already have that packed for my
mine.
next Disneyland trip. That's my next Cars Land. Anytime I'm there, I'm wearing that dress again. It is so good. So excited.
I gotta tell you, now that I'm wearing these Crocs too, I'm a Crocker for life.
She's call her Betty Crocker.
Betty Crocker.
Yeah.
That's so comfy.
Is that going to be your foot? Your new
my
online
foot
pseudonym?
account.
Yeah,
look me up.
Yeah, Betty Croctober. I don't know where I'm going with that.
I'm Crocker for life.
Well, hey, when's that? What was did we get a time frame for the nighttime parade from Magic Kingdom from D23?
Summer.
Summer.
So Epic Universe for Universal.
Summer.
And we get the new Disney. I've already forgot the name of it. Excuse me. Let me look
Disney
it up
Glow
here.
Dark Parade nighttime.
Disney Glow in
Magical
the Dark.
enchantment.
Yeah, something.
Beautiful,
I guarantee those
mystical.
words are in there. Yeah.
Excuse me.
I saw
Summer
it the other day,
2025.
and I was like, you know why?
Reach for the stars. No, that's Tokyo.
I was gonna say I get it confused with Tokyo and the other parades they had and stuff. So,
That I am very excited about that. And you know what I think I'm most excited for Magic Kingdom getting a nighttime parade again is that the parks might be open later again. I miss that, man. Like
do
when
too.
we would come on vacation, we would rope drop. We'd be there very early. We'd take a break because you could come back to the park and with extra magic hour, like they would close at 2 a.m. Back in the good old days.
I miss.
Parks
we
close
were
at
just talking
like
about that
9,
when we were
10
at the
p.m.
Halloween party.
Halloween party.
Walking
midnight.
through Tomorrowland, it was like we got the same vibes as we would at extra magic hours. The new nighttime parade at Magic Kingdom is called Disney Starlight, coming summer 2025.
Starlight. That was it. I know that,
Starlight.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Peter Pan, Encanto, Frozen, and more will be represented.
Imagine if
music's good.
Imagine if there's a power lights up. I would die. Okay, so here's the thing: if Paint the Night comes back to Disneyland, can you even fathom if it was Paint the Night and Magic Happens? I would make a
Wait.
Disneyland trip.
What do you mean?
Magic happens during the day. Paint the Night at night.
Is Magic Happens not happening right now?
No, because
Halloween.
the Halloween
Oh,
stuff. Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
I think it's not happening for the rest of the
What a
year.
dynamic duo. Those
if
songs
I'm
are so good.
I know. And yeah, I prefer Paint the Night at Disneyland. I think. Like at Disneyland Park instead of Disney's California Adventure.
Oh, I'm not talking. I don't care what park it's in over there.
Oh, but I'm
I just
saying
meant
in
in
general.
general. I meant the resort. Oh, you
Right.
like it, but
I think I do.
okay. So here's what I did when it first came out is so I think they maybe it used to be 2 times a night. I could be crazy. But you know, if you watch it a couple times during your trip, one thing that you can do, or you could have done this when they were doing the Main Street Electrical Parade, whatever. Ride the rockets. What is that ride
Astro
called?
Orbiter?
Yeah, Astro Orbiter. Getting there, you got to time it right when the parade's going by and you're spinning around up there, and all those like lights and from the parade and from like Tomorrowland lit up at
Oh,
night.
that
Because
sounds
one of these things
magical.
is that Disney World does not hold a candle to the lighting package that they use at night in the Disneyland Resort. It is something out
You are
of
right.
a movie. I use the word romantic because it is
It
just like
is.
it's just so beautiful.
That is my favorite. I think this is such a cliche, but that is my favorite time at Disneyland is when the lights first come on, like in the twilight hour, like where on Main Street.
Yes.
Like every trip, I'm like, I got to do that
Yeah.
at least once. Just like be there when the lights come on. And
Yes.
I'm happy. It's the best.
It's such a simple, simple
Yeah.
moment, but it feels like pure magic. Like that's what I remember most from licking around the parks as a kid is when the lights would come on. Same for Hollywood Studios, the neon in
Yes,
Twilight,
yeah.
like during down Sunset and Hollywood Boulevard, so gorgeous.
Agreed. And we'll have holiday decorations up soon. Both coasts.
Yeah, here
I'm
we
excited
go.
about
Here we
that.
go.
Yeah, I would love to. I haven't spent as much time at Disneyland. Well, I guess really for either of the two holidays. I think I've been for Halloween more than the Christmas. I'd like today for hanging out with us today. If you're listening to this, please, when you get the opportunity, rate and review this podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. Like I said, comments, suggestions. Don't forget about Dreams Unlimited Travel when booking your next Walt Disney World vacation, and of course, to our Patreon supporters, a huge thank you. We could not do this without you. We will be doing a Patreon after show in a little bit. Stay tuned. I'll make an announcement about that over there at patreon.com/DizUnlimited. Again, thank you, everybody. I hope that you have a magical week, and we will see you next week with another episode of the Diz Unlimited podcast.